Satoshi Oishi was born on February 22, 1982, in Osaka, Japan, into a family that valued both academics and traditional games. Growing up in a city that was both a hub for technological innovation and rich in cultural traditions, Satoshi was encouraged to pursue a variety of interests. His childhood was filled with a love for puzzles, intellectual challenges, and games that required both mental acuity and focus. It was during his early school years that Satoshi was introduced to dominoes, a game that would shape the course of his life. Dominoes was not the most prominent game in Japan at the time, but Satoshi's family enjoyed playing various tabletop games, and dominoes was among their favorites. He quickly became intrigued by the game's simplicity yet immense depth, and he started playing regularly with his family. As he grew older, Satoshi began to appreciate the strategic elements of the game, which required both foresight and the ability to anticipate opponents' moves. The more he played, the more he realized that dominoes was more than just a pastime, it was a game of skill, intellect, and patience. At the age of 13, Satoshi began entering local domino tournaments, eager to test his skills against others. While many of his peers were still in the early stages of learning the game, Satoshi's natural talent for strategy and pattern recognition set him apart. He quickly became known in his local community as a promising young player, and his competitive spirit drove him to improve rapidly. He spent hours studying the game, experimenting with different strategies, and observing the playstyles of older, more experienced players. By his late teens, Satoshi had already become one of the top young players in Japan, and his reputation as a future champion began to grow. Rise to national recognition. Satoshi's rise to prominence in the world of competitive dominoes began in earnest in the early 2000s. At the age of 20, he won the prestigious Osaka Domino Tournament, one of the most highly regarded competitions in Japan. The tournament attracted top players from all over the country, and Satoshi's victory was seen as a sign that he was ready to compete at the highest levels. His calm demeanor and exceptional decision-making ability stood out during the competition, and his victory earned him a spot among the country's best players. Following this breakthrough, Satoshi began to compete in larger and more challenging tournaments, gaining national recognition for his skill and tactical brilliance. He quickly established himself as one of Japan's leading domino players, regularly securing top finishes in national competitions. His ability to read the game, predict his opponent's moves, and capitalize on small advantages became the hallmark of his playing style. His early victories helped build his reputation not only in Japan but also internationally, as more domino enthusiasts and players took notice of his rising talent. In 2007, Satoshi's breakthrough moment on the global stage came when he competed in the World Domino Championship, held in Las Vegas, Nevada. Although he was relatively unknown outside of Japan at the time, his performance in the tournament caught the attention of the global domino community. He advanced to the final stages of the competition, showcasing his deep understanding of the game and his ability to remain composed under pressure. While he did not win the World Championship that year, his strong showing marked him as a player to watch in the years to come. Career peak and major achievements. The peak of Satoshi Oishi's career came during the late 2000s and early 2010s, when he became one of the most dominant forces in the world of competitive dominoes. His consistency and high level of play allowed him to secure numerous victories in some of the world's most prestigious domino tournaments. Perhaps his greatest achievement during this period was winning the 2010 World Domino Championship, which brought together the best players from around the world. The 2010 World Championship was a defining moment in Satoshi's career. The tournament was intense, with several of the world's top players vying for the title. Satoshi's performance throughout the competition was nothing short of remarkable. He defeated several former world champions and highly ranked players, demonstrating his tactical prowess and ability to handle pressure in critical moments. In the final match, Satoshi faced off against a seasoned opponent who had won multiple championships. However, Satoshi's precision and strategic thinking ultimately led him to victory, and he was crowned the World Domino Champion for the first time in his career. The victory in 2010 elevated Satoshi to international superstardom within the world of dominoes. He became known for his sharp analytical mind, his calm approach to the game, and his ability to adapt to any situation. His triumph in the World Championship not only confirmed his status as one of the top players in the world, but also helped popularize dominoes as a competitive sport in Japan and around the globe. His victory was widely celebrated, and it inspired a new generation of young players to take up the game. In addition to his World Championship win, Satoshi achieved many other notable victories in his career. He claimed multiple national titles in Japan, further cementing his position as the country's top domino player. He also triumphed in several international tournaments, including the Asian Domino Championship and the European Domino Cup, where he competed against some of the best players from across the world. His ability to perform consistently at the highest level was a testament to his dedication and love for the game. Satoshi's playing style became highly regarded for its emphasis on strategic depth and mental fortitude. Unlike many of his peers, who relied heavily on fast-paced, aggressive play, Satoshi favored a more calculated, patient approach. He was known for his ability to wait for the perfect moment to strike, often capitalizing on his opponent's mistakes or luring them into traps. His impeccable decision-making and reading of the game allowed him to outlast even the most experienced competitors. Final years and mentorship. As Satoshi entered his late 30s, he began to gradually reduce his participation in competitive tournaments. While he remained an active and respected figure in the domino community, he decided to shift his focus toward coaching and mentoring the next generation of players. His deep knowledge of the game, along with his experience as a world champion, made him an ideal mentor for young aspiring domino players. Satoshi's coaching style was built around his core philosophy of patience, strategy, and emotional control. He believed that success in dominoes was not just about making the right moves but also about maintaining composure and staying calm under pressure. He began working with local domino clubs in Japan, providing training sessions, workshops, and one-on-one coaching for young players. Many of his students went on to achieve success in national and international tournaments, with several of them becoming top-ranked players in their own right. In addition to his coaching efforts, Satoshi also became involved in promoting dominoes as a competitive sport in Japan. He worked closely with the Japan Domino Federation to organize national tournaments, expand the visibility of the sport, and encourage younger generations to take up the game. His efforts played a key role in raising the profile of dominoes in Japan, which had traditionally been overshadowed by other sports. Satoshi also continued to play in select high-level competitions, occasionally entering major tournaments when he felt that the challenge was right. While he no longer competed at the same intensity as in his prime, he remained a respected figure in the global domino community, and his appearances in tournaments were met with excitement and anticipation. His knowledge of the game and his continued success in these competitions served as a reminder of his skill and legacy in the sport. In 2020, Satoshi Oishi announced that he would officially retire from professional competitive dominoes, having achieved everything he set out to accomplish in the sport. He left behind a remarkable legacy as one of the greatest players of his generation, and his influence as a coach and ambassador for the sport ensured that his impact would continue to be felt for years to come.